Former President Trump out campaigning early this morning in New York City, cheered by hundreds of construction workers.
You know what? They're very, very talented people. They don't get the credit for it.
That stop in Manhattan before he returns to court this morning for more testimony at the first Trump criminal trial.
It's election interference. This whole thing is election interference.
Now, he's upset the judge won't let him go to Washington for a key hearing in a Trump federal case this morning. Fox's David Spunt's outside the Supreme Court.
The justices always claim they want to stay away from politics, but today they're entering the nerve center of the presidential election, whether they like it or not. Now, former President Donald Trump, he claims that the allegations levied against him for trying to allegedly overturn the 2020 presidential election occurred during a time when he was still president. He says, therefore, he cannot be indicted.
Well, so far, lower courts have rejected that Trump immunity claim that he should not be able to be prosecuted. Now in Arizona, 18 Trump associates, including Rudy Giuliani, have been indicted, charged with scheming to overturn the Biden election victory in that state. It's getting louder on college campuses nationwide. That's at the University of Texas, where dozens of pro-Palestinian protesters were arrested in Austin. Also arrests from Massachusetts to California, where USC's campus has been shut down. At Columbia in New York City.
You can't intimidate your fellow students and make them stay home from class. Think about that. Is that right?
House Speaker Mike Johnson got booed as the Republican demanded the university president resign if she can't control the anti-Israel demonstrations. The day after President Biden signed a bill that would ban TikTok if the social media app does not cut ties to its Chinese parent company, Secretary of State Antony Blinken's in China.
We have an obligation for our people and indeed an obligation for the world to manage the relationship between our two countries responsibly.
America's listening to Fox News.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos, a better, easier way to get term life insurance, all online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
The Supreme Court's Trump hearing comes the day after justices considered a challenge to Idaho's abortion restrictions and if they violate a federal law unrelated to abortion.
The federal law, the Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act, says federally funded hospitals have to provide stabilizing care to patients. Justice Sonia Sotomayor questioning if the Idaho law overrides the federal law.
Idaho says, sorry, no abortion here.
Idaho's Attorney General Raul Labrador.
Idaho's law and EMTALA are consistent. They both seek to protect the lives of women and their unborn children.
Doctors face 5 years in prison if they violate Idaho's law. In Washington, Jill Nato, Fox News.
Now, there's news on that issue in 2 other states. Legislation advancing in Tennessee would make it illegal for some adults to help minors get an abortion. Legislators in the Arizona House have voted to repeal an 1864 law banning nearly all abortions in that state.
The issue now moves to the state Senate, where it needs votes from at least 2 Republicans and all Democrats to move forward. The 160-year-old law briefly went into effect after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, but was blocked. Arizona's Supreme Court recently ruling to uphold the measure, which bars the procedure except to save the life of a mother. The move to repeal the law, which Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs supports, would reinstate a 2022 Arizona law banning abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
We'll get an update to the economy later this hour. Growth to start the year. Economists predict a GDP increase in the first quarter just over 2%, down from 3.4% in the last quarter of last year. On Wall Street, stock futures are down before that report, more than 200 points for the Dow. In the NBA playoffs, Miami beat Boston to even that series. Oklahoma City went up 2-0 on New Orleans. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A portion of Bradley Avenue being closed in Champaign for routine storm sewer maintenance. Crews working on eastbound Bradley Avenue between 4th Street and Carver Drive. That starts today through next Tuesday. Traffic merged into single lanes through the construction zone. Springfield man being cited. It follows a crash involving an ISP Trooper squad car on I-55 near Litchfield. Police say an ISP squad car parked and blocking traffic on I-55 northbound this past Saturday. Trooper outside the car when a car hit it. Nobody hurt, and the driver of that other car, Fred Stewart, cited for the move-over law. 2 men face charges following the robbery of a convenience store in Champaign. 2 robbed the business at gunpoint on Tuesday in the 1200 block of North Mattis Avenue. The men took an unknown amount of cash. Later, officers arresting Randy Copeland and Travis Gibson on charges of armed robbery and unlawful use of weapons. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Beautiful, but a little cool morning.
Yeah, a little frost today, too.
Saw that for sure. Our meteorologist, Greg Solier, in a second. Weather this morning brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
And they remind you that they have all kinds of ideas when it comes to home improvements and making something special happen on your front door or the back sliding doors. Get into these deals in April while the month is still around. KramerSiding.com.
That's Diane Ducey. Good morning. I'm Stevie Jay. Good morning to meteorologist Greg Solier. Morning, sir.
Good morning, my friend. Yeah, and by the time, let's say, we get to Wednesday, Thursday next week, we will take that current 35-degree reading at Willard and Savoy and add 50 degree. Well, he's close to it. 50 degrees to it.
Wow.
Yeah, by mid to late next week, here comes summertime, folks. But in the meantime, in the transition, we do need we will get into some rainfall again. But after Monday, boy, ladies and gentlemen, start those engines with spring field work, maybe some field work access. We kind of reverse course here. The eastern corn belt's been too wet. Back into some warmer, drier environs there where we need more rain in some of the drought-ridden areas. The western belt, parts of the plains, they'll get rain there. So should be a win-win for everyone here in the next 10 to 15 days. 35, as mentioned, at Willard and Savoy. 33, Rantoul. 34 over at Danville. 33 up at Kankakee. We did see some upper 20s. 29 last hour over at Crawfordsville, Indiana. Meanwhile, 45 at St. Louis, and some rain already breaking out Kansas City down to the Ozarks. That's the stuff that arrives here for tomorrow morning. In the meantime, mostly sunny day on tap. Afternoon temperatures here across the year expected to top out at around, about 60 degrees. Light wind, so much better days worth of weather today compared to yesterday, compared to the wind pattern as well. Overnight lows tonight, milder, 42. Scattered showers tomorrow morning. Showers, thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon with an approaching warm front. Highs up to 65. And southeast to south wind tomorrow in the afternoon and evening up to 30 to 35 miles per hour. Gusts to 40 and 45 miles per hour tomorrow night and Saturday. We warm it up. 60s tomorrow night with showers and thunderstorms early and late and a little more scattered random stuff around. Should not be a complete wash for the marathon Saturday, but a little something around in the morning. Late afternoon, the high at 78. 80 with some scattered storms, maybe some healthy ones Sunday afternoon and evening. Monday, the showers wind down at 74. 75, we start the dry time next Tuesday. Low and mid-80s next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sounds off as college president sets an imminent deadline for anti-Israel encampment. Here is the Congresswoman from New York.
It is especially important that we remember the power of young people shaping this country today, of all days, as we once again witness the leadership of those peaceful student-led protests on campuses like Columbia, Yale, Berkeley, and many others.
Of course, all peaceful. Political analyst, commentator, Young Voices, Garion Frankel. Hi, Garion. How are you?
Not bad. How about yourself?
Oh, just fine. Just listen to the prominent and respected Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez speak on this. I don't think it's peaceful, is it?
I don't think it's particularly peaceful. If you just look at Columbia, in an environment in which anti-Semitic attacks in New York have increased by 214% since the October 7th attacks in Israel, you now have a group of protesters issuing a hostile takeover of their campus, creating a tent city. And they're cheering for Hamas. They're chanting death for America, death to America, despite them wanting America to forgive all their student loans. And it's created an environment that's so hostile and so chaotic that the university had to move all of their classes online or hybrid And now prominent rabbis in the area are telling Jewish students to stay away because the university has made it clear that they can't guarantee their safety. I'm all for peaceful protest, but at this point, I don't think we can call this a protest. It's like Chaz back in Seattle in 2020. It's become something crazier. It's beyond that.
Wait a minute, hold on. They said that was a summer of love.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Right.
peaceful. The guy holding the AK-47 is a little bit out of character.
Right.
For me. Listen, this is beyond comprehension that in 2024, I mean, we're coming up on, what was it? Jews started getting pounded in about early 1930s.
Right.
To be calling somebody a dirty Jew yesterday in New York, I don't. Happening in Berkeley, they had like 8,000. They said 8,000 protesters in 800 locations, and I'm going. That's an unbelievable coordination of effort. How do you do that? Anyway, I'm just shocked by the anti-Jew, and I mean these are they're. I mean, I don't know if you can call them terrorists, but they're kind of terrorists because they're supporting Hamas with all this, and you're talking about death to America, death to Israel. I mean, where are we? Am I in time warp? I'm shocked by this.
Well, it's funny that AOC mentioned ensuring that young people's voices are heard and that they're peaceful protests. Well, first of all, and I can say this because I'm 24, is that most young people don't know what they're talking about. And even when they do, most young people don't vote. So I don't really see the importance of youth standing up as truth speakers and making their voices heard, because from my vantage point, all I see people in my generation do is complain. And when they complain, they don't know what they're saying. But second of all, I love that these protests, I don't love it, obviously, but it's interesting to me how these protesters say, oh, we're not anti-Semitic, we're just anti-Zionist. But then as part of their anti-Zionism, they bring out all of the anti-Semitic tropes that have been around for 2,000 years, and their target of their anti-nationalist ideas always seems to be the Jews. That seems pretty anti-Semitic to me, and I think it's emblematic of a really toxic and disorganized, chaotic culture on college campuses around this country, particularly the elite ones.
Well, it's, again, something that we're going to watch very carefully here, but I don't understand how you're negotiating with the 20-year-old. High-level negotiation. Get off my campus with your tent now, or the National Guard will be here in 10 minutes. How about that?
Yeah,
how about that?
Go.
And if you are, if you're doing hate speech, let's just go ahead and expel you. And if you're not from this country and you're on some sort of a card, I'm going to deport you. This you can't. It's not tolerable. What if I'm doing this against Muslims? Do you think there'd be a different reaction? It's not allowed. We don't do this. We don't. Anyway, when you're talking about shutting down $90,000 a year school and saying, I'll see you on the computer. Wait a minute. I want a refund, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It's absolutely absurd what universities are allowing to happen, because Columbia is setting all of these negotiation deadlines. Well, what do the protesters want? The protesters essentially want Columbia to end the war by themselves. They want them to withdraw any association with any entity, person, company that can even remotely be construed as Israeli. They want them to fully endorse the ceasefire in Gaza, as if that'll suddenly make Israel stop and realize that they should sing Kumbaya. And they want them to essentially endorse the BDS movement, which is absurd in its own right. How do you negotiate with people that have no serious interest, that don't really know what they want, and are completely unwilling to budge on literally anything while they put up a tent city on private property?
Yeah, okay. Garen, how can people, you're with Young Voices, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Young Voices. How can we connect with Garion, Garion, Frankel, Frankel, and or Young Voices?
Well, you can find me on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. It's just my last name and then my first name, as you just spelled it. As for Young Voices, you can find us on our website at Join YV. We do a lot of work like this. Great organization for finding people between the ages of 18 and 35 who aren't completely unreasonable.
Well, I appreciate how you said we know nothing. We don't know what we're talking about. That's rather candid. Listen, Gary, nice to meet you. Keep up your voice. We appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me.
ESPN 93.5 at 7:15. We know nothing. We had several hundred leave class yesterday at the University of Illinois.
It's true.
And how many of them knew exactly what we're doing?
Right.
Except let's get out of class and march down green and show them what we mean. Well, what do you mean? Let's just show them what we mean. Well, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Well, I'm a little worried. I mean, it's Illinois Marathon weekend. We got the Green Street Mile tonight at 7:30. The 5K with, at 8,000 entries?
Yeah, I trust
tomorrow at 7:30.
Reasonable minds will prevail, and my law enforcement is top-notch.
I got some prayer power on this, Stevie, that's for sure.
I haven't heard of anything else planned to disrupt.
Okay, good.
So I think our people have met enough about this. They're ready to go.
Okay.
Let's check sports.
Hey, the Cardinals win 5-1. It's just back and forth with these Cardinals, let me tell you. Let's get your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Orton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals beat an old Cardinal, Jordan Montgomery, a 5-1 victory over the Diamondbacks, and the Cardinals won 2 out of 3.
Kyle Gibson picked up his second victory of the year. He was solid again going 6 innings. He only gave up 1 run, and that was in the first inning. The Cardinals were able to score late in the game, and their bullpen did the job again. And their bullpen meaning Romero, Kittredge, Ryan Helsley, they put up nothing but zeros.
And Gibson is 2-2 with the win, beating Arizona, and now it's on to New York. A day off today, and then the Mets over the weekend. But to get 2 out of 3 against Arizona could be a nice springboard.
Oh, no doubt about that. And playing the Mets, hopefully a couple more series victories on the road.
The Cardinals will be facing Jose Butto. Butto 0-0. Miles Michaelis 1-3 will start for the Cardinals. We're on the air tomorrow night, 5:15, 6 o'clock. Ricky will have the lineups, and I'll bring you the first pitch from Citi Field in New York around 6:10. The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
So, you were telling me about Cody Bellinger yesterday, and I just didn't get it until I'm hearing, 2 cracked ribs or something today.
Yep.
So now I get what you're talking about.
Well, young Kyle Toss doesn't think he'll be back till June.
But 4-3 with the Cubs on top of the Astros. So they're in action tonight on US 105.9. Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox 6-3. White Sox 3-21 on the season.
Yeah, that's makes everybody feel better.
Hey, we've got the NFL Draft Day.
Yep.
And Johnny Newton, Tip Ryman.
Yeah, Tip Ryman tied in, Isaiah and Keith as well. It's 7:19.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign Van Ness Saturday. Frosty morning out there. Temperatures will moderate today. Then it's a wind-blown warm-up, complete with several rounds of showers and thunderstorms over the weekend. That wet weather pattern will wind down early next week, but not the warmth. It sticks around. Matter of fact, a real summery feel. Kind of just what the weather doctor ordered around here for the backyard and back 40 beginning the middle part of next week. So a frosty start to the day. Mostly sunny. The high around 60. Light easterly wind, increasing cloudiness later tonight. Low down to 42. Tomorrow, windy with scattered showers in the morning. Showers, thunderstorms in the afternoon tomorrow. Becoming cloudy to high to 65. At southeast to south wind gusting above 30 miles per hour. Windy tomorrow night with scattered showers, thunderstorms early and late. Low down to 63. Windy and warm again for the day Saturday. Maybe shower, thunderstorm in spots morning and late afternoon. The high around 78. Up near 80. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continue on into Sunday. They'll wind down Monday at 74. Up near 75. Dry weather on Tuesday. Lower 80s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Rochas, Greg Solier.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini, member FDIC.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Southwest Airlines is losing more money than predicted. It flies only Boeing planes. It's dealing with delays on deliveries of new planes because of Boeing's production issues. Though travel demand remains strong, last-minute leisure bookings were softer than predicted. Southwest says it's limiting hiring and offering voluntary time-off programs to employees. It expects to end this year with 2,000 fewer employees than it had at the end of last year. Southwest also will end service to Cozumel, Mexico, Bellingham, Washington, Syracuse, New York, and Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport. Merck shares are up nearly 2% on strong sales of vaccines and cancer drug Keytruda. Cruise company Royal Caribbean's earnings top forecasts. Caterpillar's quarter was mixed. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jim Cosella, invested in you.
I'm Emily Campagno, host of the Fox True Crime Podcast. January 26th, 1988 was a cold and suspiciously quiet night at the Indianapolis Police Department. But the frigid night took a chilling turn with news of a triple homicide. This week, I'm joined by retired Sergeant Judd Green for a look back at this savage case. Available now on Apple, Spotify, and FoxNewsPodcasts.com.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
All right, a little juggle in the schedule. Normally it's 7:30 on Thursdays. John Decker joins us. John will be actually in the Supreme Court. He has an assigned seat. Anyway, it's the Trump absolute immunity discussion, or is it a decision? Might be a decision.
Okay.
Anyway, we will have John call us at 8:30 and find out what happened at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's getting a lot of action these days. We'll find out then. Chicago Bears planning a B as in boy,
yes,
$1 billion new stadium just to the south of the current Soldier Field.
Okay, they unveiled this new domed stadium on the lakefront plan yesterday, just south of their current home at Soldier Field. It comes with a huge bill, and it remained unclear how taxpayers might be on the hook for the cost of the surrounding infrastructures.
What would it? I'm sure the governor was in the loop, right? I mean,
well, I feel like there's been some pushback on that with JB's comments about this.
What did JB say?
And I need to get to that.
Because you
one
don't...
more time, this is Johnson is the mayor, right? It says that this project will result in no new taxes on the residents of Chicago.
Hold on. That is not true, and
Right.
I know zero about this, but that is not true. Because that's never true.
Okay, so we'll seek $900 million in public funding through 40-year bonds issued by Illinois Sports Facilities Authority, which helped fund the 2002 renovation of Soldier Field, as well as the construction of renovations at Guaranteed Rate Field for the White Sox.
Apparently, it's about $1.5 billion in taxpayer dollars. I don't know what the mayor was talking about. Pritzker and legislative leaders stand opposed. So this is one of those.
Right.
Let's go ahead and take it to the.
Let's just push it out there.
The people and put the pressure on the people because, boy, if Pritzker doesn't go along with this, we'll vote him out. Right.
Okay.
The Chicago Bears unveiled a nearly $5 billion proposal for an enclosed stadium and have a retractable roof. That'd be
Yes,
cool.
yeah, it sounds great. It's just $5 billion, really?
And so
wow.
really, what does that mean? We can't comprehend $1.5 billion to the Illinois taxpayers.
Hoping to get a financial plan and with the Illinois General Assembly this spring for construction to begin in the summer of 2025. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of gray area here.
Well, it's not. First of all, I don't think you'd announce it till you figure it out, because now you're at headbutting time, and that generally goes to the side of the governor and the people in power.
Okay, so here's a comment from Springfield. Governor J.B. Pritzker says he's willing to consider the Bears' plans, but has voiced reluctance to provide public funding for the project.
Well, that's always the push, but if you think that what is the value of saying Chicago Bears? What is the value? Harvey Mackay, who wrote the best-selling book Swim with the Sharks Without Getting Eaten Alive, thinks that there's a vast amount of publicity and value in tourism that trickles down. It's hard to track.
Right.
But the value of saying the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago Bears, Chicago Whites, Chicago, all the time, there's a lot of value there. Now, can the Bears pick up and leave? Well, wouldn't they? Do you think there'd be other cities? That's the problem, is that other cities will give them the money to attract such an NFL project. And I don't know what city's been pining for an NFL team. I don't know that. But there's a city out there that'd love to lure the Bears. I mean, look at St. Louis. They lost to the Rams. Rams went to be the Cardinals. Rams went to be, I get confused. Rams went to Arizona. They left St. Louis.
Right.
So it happens, and it's not that far along. I mean, Oakland, they just lost the Raiders. Oakland's going to lose the Oakland A's. So it's totally feasible for other towns and states to say, yo, I got your money. Let's just go $2 billion on it from the taxpayers.
So Pritzker noted that public financing for stadium deals has become more unpopular in recent years,
it has,
pointing to Missouri voters rejecting a proposal with a sales tax hike to help fund renovations at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City just months before the Chiefs won their third Super Bowl in 5 years. So there's that. I mean,
people aren't real interested, particularly in this inflationary time, to say, hey, let me chip in $1,000 for your stadium.
I know.
I don't know. There's 12 million people in our state, something like that. So divide that by $1.5 billion, see what that'd be to every man, woman, and child. And you'd have to look up households and income and what level that would be on a tax basis. But right now is not a good time to ask for taxpayer dollars. Oh, by the way, this is coming from President Kevin Warren.
Yes, and Bears President Kevin Warren cautioned that the time to get the stadium deal done is now. He believes the longer Chicago and Springfield wait, the more costs will go up.
Kevin lost me at the Michigan wins the Big Ten at 14-3, and Illinois doesn't at 16-4.
Oh, that guy.
That's the Kevin Warren.
Thank you for bringing up
I am
Big
now
Ten
adamantly leery of the project with Kevin Warren.
That's right.
Gave it to Michigan at 14-3. Come on, man. Anyway. I don't know. I don't think we're...
Got a text in saying, as a Packers backer, we'll beat them in the new stadium just like we beat them in their last stadium.
I don't know what you can say to that, except you're right. Okay. Isn't it 10 in a row or something that the Packers have beaten the Bears? It's something ridiculous.
Okay.
But Bears time could be coming. Tonight is the Let's Make a Millionaire.
Yes, and the Bears have the number one draft pick. We're thinking that's going to be the dude from USC. Is that Caleb Williams?
With the first pick in the NFL draft, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears will now be partners. Yes, it'll be Caleb Williams, and he's the quarterback of the future, or at least they're hoping so.
I know he's been to Hallis Hall, and they've had a lot of meetings, and we'll see if everything goes well. I know the fashion is something that me and my daughters and stuff are interested in. Those guys really, I mean, I think they get stylists and everything for this NFL draft night in Detroit. They look good.
Yeah, well, if they don't look good, they had time to look good. So they must be getting bad advice because they should be able to latest GQ, whatever.
Exactly.
How many of these top picks will have socks?
That's true.
I predict
and
no
socks.
socks.
A little bit on the high waters with the pants there.
How could they hurt the sock people? I mean, come on, think of the money. Remember when Clark Gable appeared in a movie 100 years ago and he didn't have a T-shirt on and all the T-shirt sales tanked? So those sock sales are going.
That's right.
Come on, all these young guys don't wear socks getting married. The whole cool thing. I would predict.
Would Ditka have thought about the emphasis on the designer clothing on draft day back in the day? Oh my goodness.
No, I don't think that would have been
on his radar.
A top thought
of how the draftees look.
Coach Mike Ditka. 217-359-2255. You want to jump on the Fisher National Bank text line. All our guests appear on the Tapman's Joint phone line. 217-359-2255. You want to give some money to the new Bears Stadium? Yes or no? It's 7:30 in Champaign-Urbana.
Fox News. I'm CJ Papa. Donald Trump stopping at a construction site earlier today on the east side of Midtown Manhattan, speaking to about 200 union workers, drowning out reporters' questions. The former president discussing the massive case. His lawyers will argue in front of the Supreme Court today that president should be free of criminal prosecution.
A president has to have immunity. If you don't have immunity, you just have a ceremonial president.
It's connected to the election meddling case brought by special counsel Jack Smith. The former president will be inside a Manhattan courtroom day 7 in his hush money trial. Prosecution will resume its questioning of David Pecker, the former publisher of the National Enquirer. Now Judge Juan Merchan not allowing Mr. Trump to travel to D.C. for that Supreme Court hearing. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, turmoil in the Champaign School Board spilling over to Springfield. State Senator Chapin Rose of Mahomet weighing in on the situation. He says conflicts between board members in the district becoming a black eye for the area. He reached out to the state superintendent asking for help to bring board members together. 2 board members just resigned because of the turmoil. Mahomet Seymour Junior and Senior High Schools had a false alarm Tuesday. An emergency announcement accidentally issued just after 3 p.m. The Alice Intruder Alert activated. As the announcement played throughout the school, some students and staff evacuated. The principal says 1 teacher in the class and students exited through a broken window. One 75-year-old Chicago woman made her way through Paxton Tuesday, walking on more than 750 miles south in efforts to bring awareness to racism. Rachel Zolo is a storyteller activist. She's been walking town to town from Chicago en route to Montgomery, Alabama, walking about 10 miles a day since April 2nd. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
We check our weather this morning, brought to you by Carl.
Monitor your skin regularly and talk with your doctor if you notice any changes. For details, visit carl.org/skin cancer.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, frosty morning out there. Temperatures will moderate today. Then it's a wind-blown warm-up, complete with several rounds of showers and thunderstorms over the weekend. That wet weather pattern will wind down early next week, but not the warmth. It sticks around. Matter of fact, a real summery feel, kind of just what the weather doctor ordered around here for the backyard and back 40 beginning the middle part of next week. So a frosty start to the day, mostly sunny, the high around 60. Light easterly wind, increasing cloudiness later tonight, low down to 42. Tomorrow, windy with scattered showers in the morning, showers, thunderstorms in the afternoon tomorrow, becoming cloudy to high to 65. At southeast to south wind gusting above 30 miles per hour. Windy tomorrow night with scattered showers, thunderstorms early and late, low down to 63. Windy and warm again for the day Saturday. Maybe a shower, thunderstorm in spots morning and late afternoon, the high around 78. Up near 80, scattered showers and thunderstorms continue on into Sunday. They'll wind down Monday at 74, up near 75. Dry weather on Tuesday. Lower 80s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Rochus, Greg Soldier.
So John Decker will be at the Supreme Court. It'll be later, so he's available now. 7:34, ladies and gentlemen, it's Thursday. John Decker, John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to
Yes,
John
children in combines now sing the song. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Great Television's national correspondent, White House correspondent, all-around big-timer John Decker. How are you, John?
Hey, I'm doing great, Stevie. Hey, Diane. Hope you're doing well this morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Monumental case
at
the Supreme Court today, which will get underway 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's when oral arguments will be begin, and likely 90 minutes to 2 hours of oral arguments for this case, which will certainly set a precedent for our country. The legal argument put forward by Donald Trump and his lawyers that he has absolute immunity from criminal prosecution. He's lost with that legal theory at both the trial court level as well as the appellate court level, but now it's up to the Supreme Court to weigh in on this decision.
I'm confused, though, where we say nobody's above the law. What are we talking when we say absolute immunity? What does that mean?
Just exactly what you said.
So wait a minute,
Absolute
I can go steal a car in the White House, bring it back to the White House, and that's okay because I'm president.
Well, you see the problem with that hypothetical and why it may be problematic. During the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals hearing, which I also attended, and it's the same lawyers for both sides who will be arguing before the Supreme Court, one of the judges on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals raised the hypothetical to the lawyer representing Donald Trump. Could a president order SEAL Team 6 to take out their political opponent? And the lawyer representing Donald Trump had a lot of difficulty in terms of answering that particular hypothetical. And you're going to hear lots of hypotheticals by the justices today during their oral argument.
It needs more defining to me. I mean, you can't have SEAL Team 6 take out your political... Okay, that's no. The answer is no.
Yeah. Well, that's right. The answer should be a firm no. But that's not the way that the lawyer representing Donald Trump answered that question. To me, Stevie, I think that this legal theory is problematic because of that word absolute. Absolute immunity. Think about that. Think about all the things that are illegal. You just raised one example that a sitting president could potentially get away with. And when the Supreme Court ultimately comes back with a decision on this case, they're not just thinking about Donald Trump. They're thinking about future presidents as well.
Yeah, this is be fascinating. Last time they let us hear the audio. I hope they get to do it again because it's fascinating.
They'll do that again.
Yeah, I love
Absolutely,
it. I love it because I think it's really interesting. And frankly, I think it boosted my confidence in the Supreme Court because both the left and the right, supposedly left and right, they were very great questions, and I was very impressed with people I perceived to be super liberal. I thought they were really good legal questions that they were asking. That was great. Great education.
Well, as you recall, what you're referring to is the Supreme Court case also involving Donald Trump, Colorado ballot case. And the Supreme Court heard that case early February. They came back with a decision, a unanimous decision
love that.
in just a few weeks. So we'll have to wait and see whether the court also comes back with a quick ruling, a quick decision on this particular matter.
I'd be very shocked if they give a president absolute immunity. That's just too absolute.
I would too. Absolutely.
All right. So 2 reasons in consecutive weeks why I can't believe Joe Biden will actually be the candidate. Stand by. Example 1.
He got shot down in New Guinea, and they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
And when I said, did he identify the tribe? And he said no last week. So here's example number 2 from yesterday.
4 more years. Pause. 4 more years.
And then the guys, is this not a Saturday Night Live bit? Is that not he had 4 more years, pause. The pause was in parentheses. He's supposed to not say that. Don't say pause, Mr. President. It's just, it's unbelievable.
That's Ron Burgundy material,
no,
right?
It is.
Yes.
It is exactly. And so I said, Lauren Michaels, put him on.
The chanters to pause there.
No, he's supposed to pause.
I know.
I don't. So anyway, this is why I've stood. I think Chicago is going to be very newsworthy for the Democrat. Well, you'll be there, Democratic
I'll be there, yes.
National Convention. It's just at some point you're just going, man, don't put pause in there anymore. Just don't put it in.
Don't put anything in parentheses.
That's right.
And that's the reason where it's like you're on pins and needles and eggshells. No matter what you think of this president, you're just watching him out there going, okay, honey, stay on the script. Do not go off. Don't say anything. I can't take a question. I'll get in trouble. He's right. You will get in trouble with it. It's just, I don't know what to say anymore.
Right.
That's too funny. I don't know what to say either. That is SNL material, and we'll see. I know they're not going to do a new SNL this week, but something tells me they'll have some new material between now and the next time they have a show.
Okay, so now we got, because I've just got notice that they are asking for John Decker to be the interim president at Columbia University in New York City.
No, thank you.
There you go. That's a gig right there.
Yeah, you could go ahead and impress us all. Listen, it would be National Guard in the first hour for me. So I'd be a heavy-handed bad guy.
I would be too.
I mean, you can't do that. You can't do what they're doing, and that's the end of the story. I'm not negotiating with you.
You can't have the floodgates open.
You're 19. I'm not doing this. You're a student here, and if you're a student spewing anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic stuff, you're out. You're expelled. And if you're not from this country and have a special visa and you're spewing hate against the Jews, anti-Semitic and dirty Jew and killed the Jews, and you're out. I'm taking you out of you're going back to your country. This is crazy stuff. This is crazy.
I agree 100% with you. It is crazy, and it's unfortunate because, there's students that pay a lot of money to go to a very impressive university like Columbia, and they now, look at them. They can't even go to class anymore. Everything is virtual because of what's happening at Columbia. It's really unfortunate for them.
I don't know what they're going to do because it's extraordinarily liberal, and the liberal viewpoint of this is, don't touch him, you can't touch him. Listen, if you see what's happening to our society for not touching him and not putting anybody in jail and cashless bails and all these other things going on, you got a lot of issues, particularly in New York and Washington.
Well, that's exactly right, and it's one of those things where it's not good politically for President Biden having to deal with this particular matter while he's running for president.
Yeah,
couldn't come at a worse time for him.
And I think it's not, nobody's going to vote for Trump on that side, but they're not going to vote. They'll vote for one of the...
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. They'll stay home.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
All right.
Yeah.
So other things on your plate, there must be many. I know Supreme Court is number one, and you already have your reserved seat. You don't have to wait in line and stuff?
I do. I'm approaching, as we speak, Stevie, I am approaching the U.S. Supreme Court. And I do have a reserved seat, and I feel very privileged to be here. I was in the Supreme Court. I've mentioned this to you before. I was in the Supreme Court for Bush v. Gore, another monumental case that was so important in our history and essentially decided the 2000 presidential election.
When they were discussing that, was there absolute clarity as what happened? Were you able to go out and say, this is what happened?
I was.
Wow.
I was.
Wow.
I remember being outside the court, exactly where I'm walking right now, seeing Karl Rove, who was in the Supreme Court for those oral arguments, and reporting after I came out of the Supreme Court the way I thought the court would rule on this particular issue, and I was right on the money. And it's pretty remarkable. Here we are 20-plus years later, and another case that could have major implications on the 2024 election.
I remember there was some poor reporter out on the steps, and I remember I don't know if they knew that they'd come to him live, and he asked the producer, somebody says, what does it say? And he had that was not so good. So some of the spontaneous, here's what they said, immediately go, 3, 2, 1. That's not that easy.
No, it's not. It's not that easy. Well, you're talking about, I came out and had a sense after oral arguments. You're talking about when the court actually delivered their opinion in that case. And yes, reading an opinion quickly is an art, and some people obviously are not familiar with how to read a Supreme Court decision and where to go to find the majority decision, where to find the dissents, and all of that. But that's an important element that we'll encounter with this particular case.
He's the only lawyer on press row, by the way. Okay, so Karine Jean-Pierre and some of the those are interesting lately. You're going, do you think she's enjoying her work?
Yeah, I do think that. I think that it's the reason why she's not looking to go somewhere else, in terms of private employment like her predecessor working for MSNBC. She really does enjoy representing and speaking on behalf of the President of the United States. Absolutely.
Okay, because I think it'd be you would never take that job, right?
I wouldn't. No, I think it's a thankless job, and I have a lot of respect for the people that do it. It is the toughest job in Washington, especially when you're representing someone who, as you, at the beginning of our segment, makes a lot of gaffes, and you have to walk back those gaffes, including I think it was last Thursday when I was traveling with the President up to Philadelphia, and she had to walk back a statement about that uncle of his who died in World War II that he claimed was killed by cannibals. Of course, that is not what happened in that particular incident.
That's interesting. Yeah. Wonder where you came up with that one.
I'm on the clock.
In the first round of the next tennis charity event, John Decker selects. Who would you select as the best press and or administration person you played tennis against last week that you would take on your team?
Oh, there's this guy that works for the administration in the National Security Council. His name is Jim Miller. What a ringer this guy was, in the sense that he played for the Stanford NCAA championship tennis team that also had John McEnroe on the team. So I definitely choose him as my partner. This guy was out of control. He was very impressive.
Not Alejandro Mayorkas, who was there at your event. You wouldn't choose the almost impeached one? No?
No, I wouldn't. He's a good player, but boy, when you're talking about someone who was recruited to play tennis at Stanford, I think it's pretty obvious who I'm choosing.
But
right?
if he's with John McEnroe, he's got to be like 60, isn't he?
Yeah, but still, if you're keeping up with your tennis, this guy was in shape. He's playing doubles, so it doesn't require a lot of running like singles.
Okay.
And he was out there. He was killing it. He really was very impressive.
And tell people you organized this thing, right? You did the whole thing?
I did, yeah, the Kangaroo Cup. The Kangaroo Cup. So it was the second time I organized this with the Australian Embassy, the Australian ambassador. CNN was also involved in this with branding, and I got to invite 120 of my press colleagues, so we all had a great time this past weekend on Sunday.
And your guy from CNN still hasn't gotten better?
What was that again?
Jim, what's his name?
Jim, I think, improved his game a little bit. So he was holding his own.
I just showed Diane your picture.
Yeah.
You look like a pro tennis player.
Grass courts then too?
Grass court, isn't it? Grass court?
Grass court. That's what makes it so special. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And so how did you do? How did you play?
I played well. I played against the ultimate champions, the eventual champions. So as you would imagine, just because of that, got knocked out in the first round, unfortunately. But the press team that I put together as our number one team, our number one seed, they too lost to this fellow Jim Miller and his partner, and it was a close match. But it's tough to go against someone with that kind of tennis background.
That's you get a guy that is that good. Stanford tennis is very good too.
Yes, they are. They're top of the heap.
All right. Well, listen, we'll look forward to seeing what happens today at the Supreme Court. You never get tired of it. Never get tired of the routine.
I know,
Supreme
especially
Court.
This kind of case.
He says John Decker on the actual seat.
Yeah, that's right.
That's cool.
I've never had that. Stevie Jay
You got some cool points this morning, John.
I got a layup. Right. I got a layup plaque in 6th grade. That's the only
there
thing.
You go.
And
that's impressive.
Didn't have my name on it either.
That's
So.
right.
Yeah. Anyway, John, keep up your fine work. We appreciate it. John Decker's book someday will be 700 pages long.
Yes.
There you go.
Listen, thanks for your time. As always, Gray Television's White House correspondent. Gray TV owns about 150 stations.
113. Yeah, there you go.
113 still time to accumulate. But you've been all over the place. Thanks for your time. Talk next week.
Thanks, Stevie. Talk to you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.
You as well.
See ya.
And it's John Decker. He also, lately in the last year, was elevated to where he actually could argue in front of the Supreme Court. I don't know if there's been a press person in history that had that level. That's pretty. He had to be nominated and all these other things.
Wow, impressive.
They just don't let anybody talk. You better come prepared. The Supreme Court, if you didn't hear the last oral arguments, it's pretty smart. And I was very impressed with the liberal judges. I mean, they asked great questions. It was good. It was very educational too. So I'm sure that'll be audio somewhere if you want to hear these oral arguments. I can't imagine you're going to give a president absolute immunity. You can't. Yeah, that's too broad, isn't it? It means I can break the law because I'm president. No, you can't. Yeah. I mean, we've done that before.
We got to watch that. That is one slippery slope right there.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a large pothole on 57 causing traffic to be diverted near Presodum today.
Really?
And then I went to try to get an update from Illinois State Police Troop 7. It says traffic is no longer being diverted to exit 212 on Interstate 57 northbound. Traffic is being diverted to exit 220 and then allowed to re-enter I-57 on the northbound entrance ramp after crossing Route 45. So I'm even more confused now. If you're in the area and you want to let us know, but just the reading that there's some general, congestion near Pasodum, Tuscola, and if you want to use a country route on the way in, that's probably advisable today. But our number is 217-359-2255 for your insight.
And if you're local, it's sure nice to kind of know the back roads.
Yes,
and stuff.
it is.
You go on Bradley Avenue and you hit that train near 4th Street, 5th Street.
You could be there for 15 minutes.
The law is you can't block anything more than 15 minutes. But sometimes you're thinking, wow.
Nope, I am taking another route. Well, even if I see something plugged up there, I am off to another side road.
There are other crossings, I'm sure, that are slow, but that one at Bradley and near Bradley and Market, and between Market and 5th.
And I don't know that that's a problem today. Today it's I-57 and northbound.
But you can move around the country, but again, sometimes you're going to need your phone for that.
Yeah.
Because you can get turned around pretty easily.
Yeah,
in the
when I ask Siri, I say fastest route to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That means she's going to figure out things by looking above and seeing if there's congestion.
Well, they know trains, though?
I think so.
Wow.
They see that there's congestion in that area and traffic is stopped, so I'm going to take you on a side route.
Aren't you glad you're not the CEO of TomTom? That kind of went out of date.
It did.
Yeah. 7:51, we'll check your weather with Greg coming up. Did you know Nathaniel's son also coming up next?
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Pia's is open. Catch all of your favorite MLB games on their big screens. Root on your favorite team wearing your Cubby Blue or your Cardinal Red. 1609 West Springfield in Champaign. Pia's offers not only a huge outdoor seating area, but indoor seating as well. Enjoy daily specials. It's the home of the Slugger Burger with buckets of beer and wings. Experience food, drinks, and fun at one of Champaign's best sports bars near Springfield and Madison, Champaign. Open 7 days a week. It's Pia's.
The Alma Market is your one-stop shop for one-of-a-kind creations from the University of Illinois alumni and students, as well as unique finds from some of your favorite Urbana-Champaign area businesses. Treat yourself or a loved one and support your fellow Illini today. If you're a University of Illinois student, alum, or Champaign-Urbana area business, feature your products on the Alma Market. Becoming a vendor is a great way to expand your reach and connect with Illini across the country. For more details, visit almamarket.org. Go Illini!
Coming Saturday, June 22nd, it's the Cardinal Bus Trip, brought to you by Route 66 Solar. Yes, join us for a beautiful day in St. Louis as we take on the San Francisco Giants. For information about our suite and all the beverages and food that are included, and a wonderful motor coach from Timmy Tours, simply text in BUS to 217-359-2255. Join us Saturday, June 22nd for the annual Cardinal Bus Trip from ESPN 93.5.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
On Thursdays, we call my son Nathaniel's son in Chicago. We do a feature called Did You Know? Nathaniel!
Good morning.
How are you?
Well. How are you guys doing?
Fine. We're doing well on this Thursday. Good to have you on, always at this time every week, with a feature we call Did You Know? What are we talking about?
Well, this morning, we get to discuss an item that has become near and dear physically and literally to all of us, and that is our cell phone. Now, Dad and Diane, you would remember, I wouldn't, but it makes me hard to believe that the first cell phone actually came out just over 50 years ago.
Wow.
And the first smartphone was released right about 17 years ago when the first iPhone was released. But now fast forward, at the end of 2023, the average person checks their phone about 58 times per day. And that's about once every 15 minutes for all waking hours. And on average, we all spend a whopping 3 hours and 43 minutes on our phone every day. But this may not be entirely our fault. Now, what I mean by that is in 2016, a group of researchers came together and did a study where they took a cohort of mice. And they split them into two groups. The one group, they put them on cocaine, and the mice became addicted to the cocaine. And the other group, they constantly subjected them to high levels of stimulation, meaning loud music and flashing lights. And at the end of this study, it was actually concluded that the overstimulated mice's brains looked incredibly similar to the brain patterns of those that were addicted to cocaine. Now, part of the reason for this is when we're stimulated, many things happen in our brain, and one of them is that a chemical is released called glutamate. Now, it's released when new information is absorbed, but this actually leads to the addictive nature of the stimulation. Our brain is literally getting trained to constantly crave more. And so when we use our phone or are in front of a screen and then set it down or leave the screen, our brains aren't as stimulated. So we feel the urge that has really become second nature to go back to that well of stimulation. Now, next week we'll go deeper and discuss something that's known as neuroplasticity, which is actually about how over time our brain can become rewired, which certainly seems to have happened, especially since the pandemic.
Oh, so we're addicted to phones, period, huh? Wow.
And I think that's relatively well known, but as time goes on and as folks do more research, there's more coming out about it. And there's a number of things that we'll cover next week that you can actually do. Obviously, parents are pretty conscious about screen time for their kiddos, but I don't think adults are immune either.
Yeah, we will continue our discussion next Thursday. Nathaniel Son in Chicago, thank you. Did you know? Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Yeah, we know we're on our phones a lot, so
I missed a lot of that discussion because I was on my phone. Sorry.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's coming up on 7:58. Break for the news. Come right back. You can always text us 217-359-2255.
Shout out to Heritage Hawks. They had a career fair yesterday. Jason Kahn. So many of the teachers and students came up to me saying they listened to the show, Stevie.
Awesome. We appreciate hearing
Good time
that.
for all.
Yes, sir, ma'am. The news is next, 7:58.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground Solutions. Are you tired of dealing with leaky faucets, basement flooding, bursting or leaking pipes? From plumbing maintenance and repairs to installing new water heaters and sump pumps, our goal is to get you up and running as soon as possible. At Lands Plumbing, we have 24/7 emergency service and a team of highly skilled professionals that will work with you to get the job done right the first time. I'm Troy Lands. You can count on my company because you can count on me.
Illini fans, this year we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium for the 2024 Fighting Illini football season. Season tickets for the 2024 football season are on sale now, and Illini fans who renew their season tickets by February 1st are eligible to win amazing prizes, memorabilia, and experiences. Secure your season tickets for homecoming, Dad's Day, and a special rededication of Memorial Stadium on October 19th against Michigan. Visit fightingillini.com for more information.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He's about to return to court in New York. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, where former President Trump campaigned early this morning, greeting hundreds of construction workers in Manhattan.
We built a lot of great buildings in the city with these people, and they've given me great support.
He also called his legal cases election interference. An hour from now, the Supreme Court will consider his claim he can't be prosecuted over the 2020 election.
A president has to have immunity. If you don't have immunity, you just have a ceremonial president.
Fox's David Spunt is outside the Supreme Court.
Former President Donald Trump was charged by special counsel Jack Smith with alleged attempts to try to overturn the 2020 election. Donald Trump says that the alleged acts happened while he was still president. Therefore, he should not be charged and he should enjoy presidential immunity. Jack Smith says that this happened after he was president. In some instances, his behavior continued.
That trial on hold as the justices consider the case. Testimony, though, will resume shortly at the first Trump criminal trial.
This is we also wait to see if Judge Merchan will cite President Trump for violating the gag order. Prosecutors say he should be held in contempt of court for what they call willful violations of that order.
Fox's Eric Shawn outside the court. The order restricts Trump comments about that case. The former president says it's unconstitutional, trying to silence him. Anti-Israel protests keep spreading. That's at the University of Texas in Austin. There were arrests there, and in Boston, Massachusetts, and in Los Angeles, where the USC campus is now closed. Jewish students at Columbia and New York City are preparing a counter rally tonight. We just got an update on the economy, showing a slowdown. GDP growth to start this year, only about half the growth at the end of last year.
The final 3 months of last year, growth was 3.4%. So we're going from 3.4% all the way down to 1.6%.
Fox Business Network's Lauren Simonetti, a big sell-off is brewing on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss even when you monitor your credit. If your identity's stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% their first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Well, former President Trump takes a challenge to his federal election indictment to the Supreme Court this morning. He's named but not charged in another 2020-related case.
Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays revealing a grand jury has indicted 11 people connected to former President Trump's 2020 campaign as part of an alternate electors scheme to allegedly overturn President Biden's win.
These charges include fraud, forgery, and conspiracy.
Explaining the individuals who were nominated to be Arizona's Republican electors are accused of submitting a certificate to Congress, falsely declaring former President Trump the victor in the state. Adding 7 other individuals connected to the alleged scheme are also indicted. The former president is not charged, but described in the indictment as unindicted co-conspirator 1. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
2 of the 18 Trump associates charged in Arizona are Rudy Giuliani and former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, who were also indicted along with the former president in Georgia, accused of trying to overturn the election, and that's today. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's in China for a second day of talks after President Biden signed a bill that would ban TikTok in the U.S. unless the social media app cuts ties to its Chinese parent company amid concerns about TikTok's surveillance and manipulation of content.
We have an obligation for our people and indeed an obligation for the world to manage the relationship between our two countries responsibly.
In Shanghai, talks focused on accusations businesses aren't being fairly treated. He's now in Beijing, where thoughts turn to global conflicts. All part of managing a relationship Antony Blinken calls one of the most consequential, one of the most complicated in the world. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, the Miami Heat beat Boston, tying the series with the Celtics 1-1. Oklahoma City routed New Orleans by 32 points to go up 2-0. Tonight, the NFL Draft goes prime time with the first round of picks. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. One 75-year-old Chicago woman made her way through Paxton Tuesday, walking on more than 750 miles south in efforts to bring awareness to racism. Rachel Zolo is a storyteller activist. She's been walking town to town from Chicago en route to Montgomery, Alabama, walking about 10 miles a day since April 2nd. Well, turmoil in the Champaign School Board spilling over to Springfield. State Senator Chapin Rose of Mahomet weighing in on the situation. He says conflicts between board members of the district becoming a black eye for the area. He reached out to the state superintendent asking for help to bring board members together. 2 board members just resigned because of the turmoil. Mahomet Seymour Junior and Senior High Schools had a false alarm Tuesday. An emergency announcement accidentally issued. Just after 3 p.m., the Alice Intruder Alert activated. As the announcement played throughout the school, some students and staff evacuated. The principal says one teacher in the class and students exited through a broken window. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
All right, 806 ESPN 93.5. We are into Thursday. This is April 25. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier, and he's on top of the weather.
And we got a forecast that's brought to you by the Urbana Park District. They've got their high school open gym. They've got their FlexiPass sample classes for free between April 29th and May 3rd. If you want to buy a fitness FlexiPass, learn more at urbanaparks.org.
All right, meteorologist Greg Solier. You got marathon weekend. Stuff's getting going today. You got windy conditions and warmer coming, but I think Saturday for the big 26.2 marathon, there's going to be some pretty good winds whipping up.
Yeah, we'll be looking at generally a south-southwesterly wind that probably at race time on Saturday is going to be already in that 15 to close to almost steady 20-mile-an-hour clip in open areas and probably hit 25 to 30-mile-per-hour speeds, at least in the morning. I think the strongest wind component is expected here probably Friday night and during the day tomorrow as well. But that's still going to be a pretty healthy wind to run into. And we'll be dodging at least a couple of clusters of showers and thunderstorms over parts of the area on Saturday. The bulk of the rains come through here tomorrow and tomorrow evening, so any activities related to that, especially tomorrow afternoon and evening time, might be a little touch and go, but I think we're still on a pretty good go of it here, except for the wind, but a very mild start to the race, probably in the 60s at daybreak on Saturday around here. So, there's a big transition coming, and more rain coming, but we're going to reverse course around here and then generate a wet weather pattern over the western Corn Belt. Plenty of severe weather there, south and southwest of us into the plains over the weekend. We may be on the cusp of that either Saturday afternoon or Sunday, and drier weather in the eastern Corn Belt. So there should be with time opportunities to ramp it up out there with Springfield work and planting as the week goes on, in a very summery weather pattern. Next week we'll put warmth into the soils. Not this morning though. 39 at Willard and Savoy, 38 over at Danville. We bottomed out this morning over at Willard and Savoy at officially 32. There's rain down towards the Ozarks. That's not coming our way for now. A mostly sunny day's worth of weather, light wind, and an afternoon temperature for the day today. A little on the cool side of average. Probably got to top out close to about the 60-degree mark. Down to 42 tonight. Some scattered showers tomorrow morning. Showers, thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and evening time. 65, and again, that southeast to south wind, 15 to 25. Gusts 30 to 35 tomorrow. And maybe still some gusts close to 40 miles per hour Saturday afternoon. But 63 tomorrow night with showers and thunderstorms early and late, and scattered pop-up stuff early and late in the day on Saturday. Highs at 78 will make 80 on Sunday. Storms in the afternoon could be stronger, severe. Monday at 74 as the showers end, and into the mid-70s Tuesday. Low and mid-80s next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. And we are still kind of flying high around here, but the Illinois basketball year kind of ended tough, but boy, what a run. And so now it's a darn near all new team. As of this morning, we have 3 members of last year's basketball team.
Yes.
We got Ty Rogers,
Nikolai Moretti.
Yeah, Nico Moretti, and then Dre Gibbs Longhorn.
Yes.
So That's it. So we got 3 people.
Gonna have a different look, but that's really how we were last season. I don't remember when we met.
We
Quincy,
had Terrence
Gary.
back, but we had Terrence back,
Okay,
Coleman
yeah,
back,
you're
Luke back.
Okay.
This is like, hi, what's your name? We're
Right.
gonna have new student week and name tags.
Yes.
And so where you from? Yeah.
Right.
No, this is dramatic. I didn't expect. I mean, I thought Luke Goody was going to stay, and he's going to visit Indiana, but I think he's going to Indiana. Yeah. So it's a pretty. I think this is our life. This is what we have. This is how basketball now works. It is. Oh, I'm okay, but I need. What are they offering? How much is it? Okay. Well, I'm not getting that.
Okay, I'll take note of that, and then I'll see what the next person has to offer.
And just don't forget that these kids and their kids.
Yes.
They got 10 different people telling them what to do, and about 20 people telling them the kind of money they can get somewhere else.
Yep.
And a lot of that's not even true. And you got over 1,000 kids that are trying to find greener pastures.
Right.
In our case, Quincy Guerrier aged out. Marcus Damask, unless the court helps us, he's aged out.
Right.
Terrence Shannon's done. Coleman could come back, but he committed to the NBA and reiterated that on X.
Right. And we felt that last season that he was
not coming
interested in the
back, right.
MLB or
and
NBA draft.
Yeah. No. So it's understandable. We're in this case, Justin Harmon's aged out. So this is an old team. Remember how happy we would be old and how'd that work out for us? Quite well, actually. So I like the whole thing. So, but now we've got the people coming in are more athletic, but younger. Number of teenagers still. Right. So we're going to have 18, 19, that kind of thing.
And we had talked about the experience on last year's team and how that really worked to our advantage.
But do you take a 19-year-old who's clearly going to be better, or do you take the 23-year-old that may not be as good but is 23? There's a huge thing to having wisdom. And our team, I thought, was wiser than most.
Right.
So it is always better to be older, but boy, it's hard to not take a kid who's so talented.
Mm-hmm.
And will they develop? Will they be receptive to here? Will they like it here? Will they like their teammates? This is new student week, man. This is like, hey, where you going? I'm going to go buy books. Yeah. It's just young.
Yeah.
So we're going to see, and it's been obviously a whole bunch of attention on this. Don't forget Dan Hartleb's baseball team at Illinois is in first place.
Yes.
And that could mean hosting the Big Ten. See if we can hold
They'll
on to
be
that.
at Maryland tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, going to break. Come right back. We got sports headlines just ahead.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. We are a locally owned community bank that has served the area since 1955. Fisher National is rooted in the communities we serve. We pride ourselves on providing financial resources that match or better the mega banks. We are your friends and neighbors who are involved in your communities and take a vested interest in seeing our customers thrive and prosper. Offering a line of rewarding consumer-centric deposits, home mortgages, small business banking, and agricultural lending. There are no compromises banking local with Fisher National. Our convenient online and mobile tools are second to none. We'll work hard to meet your financial needs and earn your trust. Learn more about Fisher National at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
All right, 8:14 sports headlines.
Well, the Cardinals won 5-1. How are we doing on the Redbird recap? I know that
We played it.
Okay.
We already did it.
But,
good to go.
Usually when we win, we play. But it's all good. It just seems so extreme to me, Stevie. I know yesterday was what, a 14-1 loss, and today we're talking about a 5-1 win over Arizona.
Yeah, that's just it's still.
Is it the pitching? What?
It's been the hitting. The hitting for the Cardinals hasn't been very good. Pitching, believe it or not, with all their old guys, have been pretty good, but can't get some hits. Yesterday we held, actually be Jordan Montgomery, former Cardinal, went to Texas, won the World Series, and then signed with Arizona. Cardinals were in discussions to sign him again, but we got to him late with good patience and some timely hitting. But yeah, Cardinals pull that out. They got to go to New York and Detroit on a road trip. They're just not hitting. That's the main problem. But yeah, it's early, but we'll see what happens if they can get out of last place. That's
Right.
just not a good spot.
We've got the New York Mets tomorrow with a 6:40 start here on US 105.9. And by the way, since we did get a win yesterday, it's a good time to mention the bus trip to Busch.
Yep.
It's June 22nd. That's a Saturday with a 1:15 start against the San Francisco Giants. It's the suite. Everything's included. If you need more details, 217-359-2255 on our Tapman's Towing phone line to just text in Busch or bus.
Or Busch, whatever you want.
Either way,
Yeah.
we'll get you more information on what's happening. Cubs over the Astros 4-3. That's a 1:20 start today over on US 105.9 to wrap up that series. Cody Bellinger and that rib injury. Looks like a couple of ribs injured after his health report yesterday. Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox. That final was 6-3. They've got a 12-10 start. We had the NFL draft day today, and I know Johnny Newton's in the first round,
Yeah,
right?
Johnny should be around 20th pick,
Okay.
which will be guaranteed millions. Tip Ryman is projected to be in the 5th round, which will be our second Illini. He's our tight end.
So on this article, it says maybe the Houston Texans could take Johnny with pick number 20 or so.
All right.
So we'll be watching for that.
And then I think Keith Randolph will go, and I think Isaiah Williams will go, so there could be 4 picks in the NFL draft. I would guess Brett Bielema will be there with a second year in a row, and Illini has been in the first round.
And it looks like Isaiah Adams then too. Is he
Isaiah Adams, I guess, could be.
And it says that maybe Cincinnati Bengals. So
Okay.
anyway, we find out.
Isaiah
everything.
Adams, an offensive lineman. So yeah, it's kind of neat to have some Illini in the draft. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it's always exciting to see the energy in Detroit, Michigan. The Lions are really a team now to contend with, but they don't have a pick till late because they were so good last year. They made the NFC Championship.
Tip was so impressive in the combine, and
Yeah.
it looks like he could be matched up in round 6 with the Los Angeles Chargers.
I saw round 5, but
Okay.
in any event, it's a pretty good
Right,
spot.
these are all predictions.
All
obviously.
guesses and predictions.
Exactly.
The Mel Kipers of the world. I think it's unanimous that Caleb Williams will go to the Chicago Bears and
Right.
pick 1. And then the Bears get a 9th pick. So they'll have another super high quality.
Okay.
Whether it'll be a wide receiver, I'm not sure what they'll target. I know the Bears defense was pretty good last year. They were leading football in a couple of areas, so they're certainly better. The offensive line obviously is a problem for about all NFL teams to try and block those very quick 280-pound pass rushers.
Well, and what's trending in Bears Nation is this proposal yesterday for a new Soldier Field look just south of where we are now. And some people texting in about whatever happened to the suburbs. And was it Arlington Heights?
Yeah, they were talking Arlington. I don't think people wanted them to do that. And so, but they've announced this thing. It's kind of odd. They've announced it without really having the same page of Governor Pritzker.
Right.
They're wondering where the money's going to go. Well, it's going to have to come from taxpayers to some level.
Right.
But Mayor Johnson in Chicago said taxpayers will not pay anything. So that's not right.
Right.
So I'm not sure how all that's going to shake out. But $5 billion, that'd have to be the richest stadium ever.
Man.
I've never heard of such a number for a football
Well, and the
stadium.
state-of-the-art fixed roof stadium
Yeah.
is what they're talking about on the lakefront.
I thought it was going to be retractable. Anyway, it's kind of early. It's going to take years
Right.
to get all this done. Time for weather. 8:19 Fox Business will be coming up next.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday. Nice day's worth of weather for today. A little on the cool side. Big warm-up and a wind-blown one expected over the weekend. And several rounds of wet weather, too, winding down early next week. And that pattern shift finally back into play. Warmer and drier, the operative weather words. Should be able to go at it full tilt with outdoor work and even field work and planting operations beginning early to mid next week. Frosty start to the day this morning and a dip in the air later today, about 60 with sunshine, increasing clouds late night tonight down to about 42. Tomorrow, scattered showers in the morning, showers, thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Highs up to 65. That southeast to south wind gusting above 30 miles per hour. 40 mile an hour southeast to south winds tomorrow night and Saturday with outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms up to 78 Saturday, 80 on Sunday with additional scattered showers, thunderstorms early and again in the afternoon. And activity should wind down on Monday with a high to 74. Back into dry time, 75 on Tuesday, into the low to mid 80s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Stuart Varley, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Economic growth was weaker than expected at the start of the year. The gross domestic product for the first quarter rose just 1.6%. Economists were predicting 2.4% growth on an annual basis. The GDP for the end of last year came in at 3.4%. This is a sign of growth slowing. At the same time, the job market appears to be holding up. The number of people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week came in at 207,000, down 5,000 from the week before. Continuing claims those still receiving benefits declined to 1.78 million. Earnings news is mixed. Southwest Airlines shares are losing ground after losing money in the recent quarter. It flies only Boeing jets, and Southwest says it's facing significant challenges from Boeing's production problems. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jimmy Cosolda, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my podcast, Perino on Politics. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. This week, I'm joined by founder and executive director of Power the Future, Daniel Turner, for a look at how we can advocate for a cleaner Earth while strengthening U.S. energy independence. Available now on Apple, Spotify, and FoxNewsPodcast.com.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Introducing Logic Co-working, where productivity meets comfort. Elevate your work experience at the best co-worker facility in the area. With state-of-the-art amenities, high-speed internet, and a vibrant community. Logic Co-working is your ideal workplace. Enjoy flexible plans, ergonomic workspaces, and collaborative environments. Your perfect workspace is waiting for you, because at Logic Co-working, they're not just co-workers, they're collaborators. Visit logic.work for details. 7:22 in Denver, 9:22 in New York, 8:22 in Champaign-Urbana,
yes,
and 8:22 in Savoy.
Yes.
One of the community leaders, and I don't even know what you are. Council? What is it called, Larry Canfor? What is it called that you're?
Board of Trustees.
Board of Trustees.
Yeah, because he's a trustee, baby. Mm-hmm. He's a board of trustee, baby. He's the greatest photographer in the world, by the way. Mm-hmm. His calendar has proven that over the years. How are you, Larry?
I'm doing just great. What a beautiful day.
It is.
So far.
How come I still think of sunrises and twinkling little trees with ice on them and think of Canfor time?
Yep, you do.
Yeah. But
I have a few pictures with that Instamatic. Yeah. Yeah.
He's a good one. You got the marathon coming through your town, my friend.
We are so excited. Savoy is excited, and we're excited for the race. We're excited for Savoy, and we're trying to embrace that. It's the first time in history it's gone through Savoy, and I think people are going to turn out for it. We've got all sorts of stuff planned. We've got we're giving out pom-poms to all the people on the route to cheer on the runners.
Awesome.
Yep.
And in mile 20, 21, 22, 23, they're going to need pom-poms and energy.
Yes.
And according to our calculations, they're going to be driving right into the wind. And then they turn around to finish with the wind because the winds will be out of the south.
Okay.
Grace is running, so we're really attuned to this one. So she'll be coming to Savoy. So
she'll be flying back with that wind.
Yeah,
flying back to the finish.
There you go.
We've got some great.
Yeah, a good part of the race to have energy added. So
miles 20 through 23, and let's go ahead and describe to set this up, Larry, of how they're coming in on Prospect, right?
Right, they're coming in Prospect. They enter the village of Savoy, and then they'll be greeted by signs and people, and then a balloon arch that they can go through, and of course a barbershop quartet singing to them, and Diane Ducey Productions Entertainment, which will be very exciting. That'll give them that umph with special music for that. PBS Band will be playing at the Rec Center as they get down to that. And then they'll come back with the wind. They'll be flying with the wind. I think of that Vangelis. What is that?
Chariots of Fire.
Chariots of Fire.
I love it.
Yeah, Chariots of Fire. Coming down Wesley, they'll be passing Montessori, and of course all the families and the kids of Montessori. They spend a lot of time drawing signs, and they'll be there. It's like we're on a diving board, leaping into this new age. And like you say, embrace. We're calling this "Embrace the Race, Enjoy Savoy."
Nice.
So
that's because Larry's a trustee. I don't know if you know Larry's a trustee over there.
Is.
So yeah,
he's got these great ideas.
Kind of big timer.
But it really takes a village. So to take a phrase. Heather Mangia, another trustee, has been helping doing this, but we have Larry Fredrickson helped to get all the entertainment. He's like a go-to person, and I have to say Diane Ducey. She's like, I think I wanted to call her the equalizer, but I couldn't think of the word. It's really the fixer. She can get stuff done. And,
well, you mentioned that Mayor John Brown wants to hand out the pom-poms from a golf cart, and obviously Tolono's a golf cart friendly community, so I started to text some certain people. But Lon Pitcher is going to be offering his golf cart for John Brown to go up and down the route and hand out the pom-poms. So, and I was looking yesterday and driving around and seeing the yellow signs along the route there on Wesley. And it mentions how you can't park there between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or something like that. So it's nice that you're keeping on everybody's radar that this is the route where everybody's coming to, give them a little heads up since this is new for mile 20 through 23, Larry. Thank you for that.
Right. Yeah, I want to say we had a lot of help from Joan Dykstra, too, the former president. We went to all the houses along the route, door to door, and talk to them too. So everyone should know what the route is and the parking, and also kind of try to fire them up to get out there and cheer.
Well, way to go, Savoy! Cue the band. Way to go, Savoy! This is really exciting.
And also in Savoy, Old Orchard, and Scott Lutz said he's going to put Welcome Marathon, and all that on his marquee. So it'll be great, especially for the runners who are kind of hitting the wall at that point. To feel uplifted
there it is.
And hear Chariots of Fire as they come in. I wonder if I could put that on a loop on my sound system.
It's loopable.
This is great.
There'll be a little loopy after Smile Fun.
That's right. Larry Canford, you the man. Thanks for the minutes, buddy.
Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah, from the movie Chariots of Fire. Quick, how old is that movie?
Oh, boy. Mid-'80s, so
I think
40 years old?
I think it's 44 years ago.
Okay.
I think it was 1979 or 80, 81, 82.
81.
All right, 1981. So 43 years ago. Wow.
What a great flick. Again, thank you to everyone contributing, and IllinoisMarathon.com for routes and for pickup that's going on essentially this afternoon. They got Green Street Mile tonight at 7:30, 5K tomorrow at 7:30. And that has over 8,000 registrants.
Wow.
So
Wow.
It's going to be awesome. If you can contribute, IllinoisMarathon.com.
All right, speaking of Larry Canfer, I got this. Larry and Elena escape the ordinary and embark on an unforgettable adventure with Stevie Jay Travel with Larry and Elena Canfer. Hi, it's Stevie Jay. Picture yourself aboard a small yacht departing from the enchanting city of Dubrovnik, Croatia. As the gentle breeze carries the scent of the Adriatic Sea, you'll set sail toward the captivating Dalmatian Islands. Over 10 magnificent days, immerse yourself in the Mediterranean lifestyle where every moment is a celebration of beauty and tranquility. Explore hidden coves, swim in crystal clear waters, and stroll through seaside villages. With Stevie Jay Travel, every detail is taken care of, from luxurious accommodations to delectable onboard dining experiences. Relax on deck as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. This is more than a cruise. It's a journey of discovery and delight. Escape to paradise with Stevie Jay Travel. Visit StevieJayTravel.com. That's StevieJayTravel.com for details. Your Mediterranean adventure awaits.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Former President Trump's back at the defense table at his hush money business records case in New York today, while in Washington, the Supreme Court considers whether he's immune from prosecution in his federal election interference case.
We have a big case today in the Supreme Court on presidential immunity. A president has to have immunity. If you don't have immunity, you just have a ceremonial president.
Trump visiting a construction site in New York this morning. 18 Trump allies are indicted in Arizona over a plan to overturn the 2020 election results there.
The scheme, had it succeeded, would have deprived Arizona's voters of their right to have their votes counted for their chosen president. It effectively would have made their right to vote meaningless.
Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays. New York's highest court has overturned Harvey Weinstein's conviction on felony sex charges. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A portion of Bradley Avenue being closed in Champaign for routine storm sewer maintenance. Crews working on eastbound Bradley Avenue between 4th Street and Carver Drive. That starts today through next Tuesday. Traffic merged into single lanes through the construction zone. Springfield man being cited. It follows a crash involving an ISP trooper squad car on I-55 near Litchfield. Police say an ISP squad car parked and blocking traffic on I-55 northbound this past Saturday. Trooper outside the car when a car hit it. Nobody hurt, and the driver of that other car, Fred Stewart, cited for the move over law. Two men face charges following the robbery of a convenience store in Champaign. Two robbed the business at gunpoint on Tuesday in the 1200 block of North Mattis Avenue. The men took an unknown amount of cash. Later, officers arresting Randy Copeland and Travis Gibson on charges of armed robbery and unlawful use of weapons. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign event this Saturday. Nice day's worth of weather for today. A little on the cool side. Big warm up and a windblown one expected over the weekend, and several rounds of wet weather too. Winding down early next week, and that pattern shift finally back into play. Warmer and drier, the operative weather words. Should be able to go at it full tilt with outdoor work and even field work and planting operations beginning early to mid next week. Frosty start to the day this morning and a dip in the air later today, about 60 with sunshine, increasing clouds late night tonight down to about 42. Tomorrow, scattered showers in the morning, showers, thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Highs up to 65. That southeast to south wind gusting above 30 miles per hour. 40 mile an hour southeast to south winds tomorrow night and Saturday with outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms up to 78 Saturday. 80 on Sunday with additional scattered showers, thunderstorms early and again in the afternoon. That activity should wind down on Monday with a high to 74. Back into dry time, 75 on Tuesday, into the low to mid 80s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com. And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. with award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Ladies and gentlemen, special guest Donna Onstadt. Donna, how are you?
I'm good, Stevie. How are you?
Well, good to have you on the radio because this is a team thing, and some would say Tim's nothing without you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take down the curtain here.
That is very true. Yeah, he kind of needs me.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, there's no question. But I still have an impression of your coleslaw.
Yeah.
What you did to that thing last August when we were there at the football game. What is the secret to the whole coleslaw part?
Well, most people, like the vinegar coleslaw. I'm not a big fan of vinegar, but I have found red wine vinegar.
Oh.
And that mayonnaise, a little bit of sugar, and that you get that creamy vinegar together. And that's what I like, so I've kind of stuck with that. And I do it all by taste. I don't measure anything out.
Yeah.
I just throw it all together.
That's what happens to the big timers like you. You just kind of throw it all together. That's awesome. Okay, so you also do injections. What does that mean? What do you do with that?
So when we're barbecuing, when we're smoking, we want to inject the meat. We want to get some more flavor into it, the moisture into it. So we do different things with it. With the pork, that's one that Tim doesn't know everything I do. I don't tell him everything. He tells me what he wants me to do, and then I do my own thing.
Well, you see, you know what? Interestingly enough, I think it was a week ago when he said he listened to everything you say, then he does it his way. So it's kind of
they're both doing that.
Kind of both talking but doing their own thing. So
yeah. He thinks he does it his way. He just doesn't realize it's still my way.
Yeah, that's right.
But one of the big things with pork is a lot of the judges, they like that sweeter pork. And so people will put in brown sugar or regular sugar. I like apple sugar. And you can get that at Walmart. It's a bottle. It's liquid. So you don't get that grainy texture to it because it's already in liquid form. And that just kind of adds that little extra. And then I add meat tenderizer. Don't tell anybody. I add meat tenderizer to it. Pork just has a bland taste anyway, so and if you don't cook it just right, it's still a little tough and stringy. So you add some tenderizer to it, and it's a heck of a lot better.
It's literally like it looks like a big old needle, right, that you inject with?
Yes, yeah. We make sure that it's all in liquid form. He injects it with a needle. All I do is I mix it all together, and I set it all there for him and say, this goes with this meat, and he grabs the right one and puts it in the meat.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
What did it say in my big fat Greek wedding? The man might be the head of the household, but the woman is the neck. That's how that works. So that's what got going on. Todd's got that going. All right, so finally, the side sauces. Is that one of those by taste, kind of do that and figure it out?
Our sauces, I absolutely do that by taste, too. And we don't do anything straight. A lot of people like anything that they can pull off the shelf. And we do Blues Hog. And you can actually get that at Rural King and Walmart now.
Oh, okay.
But we don't do just straight what you pull off the shelf. We mix a couple together, add some honey, maple syrup on some, depending on what meat it's going on. I'll put apple sugar in it. We mix a few different things till we get that sweet and heat together that we want. And that's what goes on.
So do you taste things as you go? Do you guys taste it?
Yes, we do. And with the sauces, it's very hard because you may have that taste of that last sauce still in your mouth,
right.
And you got to get rid of that so that you're not tasting the old sauce and getting with the new sauce that you're making. So we do taste everything, and when it's cold, it has one taste, but once it's heated up, it has a different taste. So you have to know when it's cold what the heat is going to do to it to make sure that you've got that flavor you want.
You guys are kind of PhDs in this. It's pretty deep how knowledgeable you are and all that. It really is. It really is. It's impressive. You guys have been out a lot, and you're going to do some competitions, but less than you did last year, right?
Yes, we are. I've got a lot of honeydew projects for Tim this year.
Well, then good. He'll get on those right away. That's just exactly how we're going to do it. Hey, he mentions you every week about, dedicated diesel and Dixie Chopper and drivers and stuff. You guys got any needs? You got anything to share?
Well, for drivers, right now there are a lot of trucking companies that are either shutting down or laying off drivers.
Oh, wow.
We are not doing that. We have freight coming out our ears, and we have a couple of openings for regional and over-the-road van and flatbed drivers. They're home every weekend. We've got a family environment. We think about family as well as the work. So we're looking for a couple of drivers to bring on for that.
Awesome. And then Dixie Chopper, any available out there?
Absolutely. I'm going to throw you out a couple of specials that we're having right now. One is a Rhino 15-foot rotary flex wing with a Dixie Chopper Classic 35-horse, 60-inch mower. It's industrial. $35,000 for the pair.
Both of them?
Yep, both of them together. $35,000.
I take it that's an outstanding deal because I'm not...
saving $13,000.
Oh, okay. Wow. So it's
you're in the mowing business. Time for an upgrade.
It's time to go big time. You'll get all the yards done really quickly with those babies. That's awesome.
Right.
Go ahead.
And then if you're looking for just a residential mower on its own, we've got a Z2 48-inch that we've got out there right now for $59.99.
And that's several thousand. There's 1,000 too off, isn't it?
Yep, that is $2,000 off.
Woo. Wow, okay, setting the table. Donna Onstadt, outstanding work today. You're very comfortable on the radio, Donna. Very
well, thank you. He kind of threw me under the bus.
Well, you rolled on through and jumped up. You did it. You whatever he did. It's awesome having you on. Thank you for all you do for us, and we loved having you in Philo, so it was really fun.
Yeah, we had a good time there.
It was awesome.
I just got a text in saying, where can I get that deal for the mower? So what is the location and website?
That is 1306 Triumph Drive in Urbana. It's right down from Farm and Fleet on 45.
Yep.
And you can call Andy at 217-328-0562 or check out Dedicated Diesel on Facebook.
Terrific. Donna, thanks for being on. We appreciate it
Have
very
a good
much.
day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stevie.
All right. Donna Onstadt, Tapman's Towing phone line. Somebody's interested in both mowers or the one residential one?
I'm not sure. They just said, how do I get that deal?
No,
I need that.
You're talking about, in the mower business, 2 Cadillacs are $35,000. And if it's saving $13,000 and you're in that business, the heck yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's efficiency and speed, and plus, huge, they can fix it. They can oil change it. They do servicing is a huge deal. Unless you're handy and can do it yourself, that's fine.
And if you're a pit master and you want more rehearing with Donna's insight on the injecting and sauces, StevieJay.com.
Coming Saturday, June 22nd, it's the Cardinal Bus Trip, brought to you by Route 66 Solar. Yes, join us for a beautiful day in St. Louis as we take on the San Francisco Giants. For information about our suite and all the beverages and food that are included, and a wonderful motor coach from Timmy Tours, simply text in BUS to 217-359-2255. Join us Saturday, June 22nd for the annual Cardinal Bus Trip from ESPN 93.5.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window.
New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
All right, NFL Draft. Millionaires are made tonight. They're got to be nervous. They and their families, entourages. It's a big night for the NFL.
Right. And this article out of Peoria in the Journal-Star says the draft weekend could have as many as 7 Illinois football players. They said we had 9 back in the day across 12 rounds in 86, but the draft moved to 7 rounds in 1994.
And then we had, how many in the 90s? Has somebody... 6 or 7, 8. Anyway, it's a pretty good.
Yes.
7 have a chance. I think 4 probably. And then keep in mind, if you're late round, it might be better to not get drafted because then you can go to mini teams as opposed to one team holding your rights.
Interesting. So Johnny Newton is the first on the list. Then Isaiah Adams and Tip Ryman, Isaiah Williams. Then we get to like Casey Washington. And could he be, one of the prospects that goes? Maybe this one suggests in the 6th round at number 212. And Julian Pearl out of Danville is also mentioned in this kind of mock-up of what could happen. It's out of Detroit tonight. I could have sworn this was a little chime from Harry Potter when I see this.
Well, there's chimes in that too.
Are they taking that bit from Harry Potter?
Anyway, that's the sound.
Okay.
Pavlov's dogs, you'll hear that, and that means the pick is in.
Well,
Bears are taking number 1, Caleb Williams out of USC. He better be their guy because they traded the other guy. Yeah.
And I wonder on our Illini stylists what they're going to look like when they go to. I just love seeing the suits and the ties and the just. It's awesome. So we had the St. Louis Cardinals winning, which is awesome, 5-1 over Arizona yesterday. New York Mets 6:10 start tomorrow here on ESPN 93.5. A day game for our Cubbies, 4-3 winners over the Astros yesterday. Hear the action over on US 105.9. Minnesota over the Chicago White Sox. That final was 6-3. They've got a 12-10 start to wrap up that series today. Of course, NBA and NHL. Playoff action is underway, but, nothing local in it, so I haven't been hitting that very hard. And Ryan Boyce, Big Ten Golfer of the Week.
Wow.
That's sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
At ABC Heating and Air, it's our promise to help you always be comfortable. Do you need rescued because you're burning hot? Do you need rescued because your air is shot? Call ABC Heating and Air at 352-5400 and let us rescue you from the heat. ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400. Can't you see you need to call me at ABC? Call ABC Heating and Air. That's ABC Heating and Air, 352-5400.
What is most important in your life? This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that can help clients like you realize your goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida. Champaign Event this Saturday. Nice day's worth of weather for today. A little on the cool side. Big warm up and a windblown one expected over the weekend, and several rounds of wet weather too. Winding down early next week, and that pattern shift finally back into play. Warmer and drier, the operative weather words. Should be able to go at it full tilt with outdoor work and even field work and planting operations beginning early to mid next week. Frosty start to the day this morning and a dip in the air later today, about 60 with sun shining, increasing clouds late night tonight down to about 40. 42 tomorrow. Scattered showers in the morning, showers, thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Highs up to 65. That southeast to south wind gusting above 30 miles per hour. 40-mile-an-hour southeast to south winds tomorrow night and Saturday with outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms up to 78 Saturday, 80 on Sunday with additional scattered showers, thunderstorms early and again in the afternoon. And activity should wind down on Monday with a high to 74. Back into dry time, 75 on Tuesday, into the low to mid 80s next Wednesday and Thursday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Racing. Farmer City Raceway with this week's Friday Night Lights, spotlighting Nutrients late models and Dryer's top rods mods. Plus the full show with the gates opening at 4, hot laps at 6:30. General admission $15, veterans $10, kids under 12 free. Visit FarmerCityRacing.com for details. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, disease, and insect control. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com. In big, dark blue New York City, Donald Trump went to visit a construction site this morning, and the workers went crazy.
And I have support. I hear the Teamsters. I've done a lot of work with Teamsters. I built a lot of buildings with
the
Teamsters,
press.
And they like me. A lot of Teamsters here, and it's an amazing show of affection. But we did a great job.
How important is the union vote? And you're here in New York City. You're talking with these members. Do you think you can maybe change some of their minds if they were lifelong Democrats to vote for you?
Love Trump. I think these maybe were Democrats, but for me, they're a Republican. There's not a Democrat in there. These are people. Look at that building. Look what we can do. We built a lot of great buildings in the city with these people, and they've given me great support. They're really amazing.
He was out there for 10 or 15 minutes, and there's a big crowd, and they were yelling, 4 more years, 4 more years. Listen, in a crowd, it's really, really hard to not have a mix. You have a president announce at a football game, there's always booze. But listen to what happened when this left an impression. This is down in Louisiana. This is a dark red state, granted. But this is in New Orleans. This is at like the Sugar Bowl or something when he was announced. And I'm listening for anything negative. It was just stunning because most presidents, Republican or Democrat, are going to have a mix, right?
Joined by the President of the United States and the First Lady.
Wow. A politician gets that? Wow. I've never even heard of that. You can pick any president you want. There's gonna be booze and cheers and to just have that kind of. This was when he was president. Red Louisiana, but blue New Orleans. Oh, there's a lot of folks that fast forward now to now. It's dizzying what's happened in the country. There's just not a ton of positive here to talk about.
I do see an update on that large pothole on I-57 that caused traffic to reroute starting at 5:47 this morning near Pisodum, exit 220. It looks like that's going to continue with the rerouting in effect until 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can avoid
I-57 south.
Right.
On Pisodum, avoid.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like it's northbound.
Northbound. Okay, northbound.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
All right, thanks for that. Appreciate it. All right, thank you, Diane.
All right, enjoy the day.
All right, it's Thursday. Boys are on this afternoon after 3 with The Drive. It's Alante, Derek Piper with Kyle Tosk. It's all coming up a bit later. Thank you for listening. Meet you tomorrow. I'm Stevie Jay. Have a great Thursday.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Does your bank keep rewards just out of reach? Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. While some banks save their reward programs for a select few, here at Fisher National, we offer free rewards checking to all of our customers. We are trying to reward you for the things you do every day. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive a statement electronically, and have at least one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's as easy as that. Rewards checking includes excellent 2.0 annual percentage yield for balances up to $20,000 and ATM refunds up to $20. Oh, and no minimum balance is required. Free rewards checking from Fisher National Bank. Rewards within reach and service beyond. See monthly requirements at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today. Our team looks forward to serving you.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm. If you're in the market for a new car battery, you could go to one of those big box stores, except there's no guarantee you'll be served by an actual car expert.
Clean up in aisle 3.
You could pick a battery off the shelf, except it might be close to expiring. Or you could just come into Interstate. Don't make a big box store blunder. With competitive prices and a more personal, reliable approach, Interstate Batteries is the clear-cut choice if you want to guarantee yourself a new and trustworthy car battery. They're open and ready to serve you at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Ata Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
So you live in the country or a rural area, but you struggle with